In addition to the resolution, each of us directors wanted to add a few things as to what this resolution will do for the city. And I take some time to think about this as what I wanted to say to you and to the public that are here and that are listening is that they can read the resolution and see what it's going to do specifically for the fire department. Mainly, it's going to help improve some of our response times, and we're going to add staff to the city for the fire department. But what I want the community to know from the fire department is that I am also a citizen of the city of Mount Vernon as well. So I will also be paying for this tax should the levy pass as well. But what I'd like our citizens to keep in mind is that since 2019, the Seattle Tacoma Bremerton CPIU of all items has risen 27% since 2019. The cost of fire apparatus has risen over 100%. Calls for service for Mount Vernon Fire Department have risen 18.3%. And our operating budget has decreased 50% over that same time frame. We have 8 vacant positions in the fire department to balance this budget. I can't send my staff to training. I can't provide public safety training. I can't educate the public. The funding is not there. We're operating as lean as possible. We have been mindful of our spending. We've tightened the belt, the proverbial belt. If this levy does not pass, public safety is going to suffer. Response times will increase and get longer. Our staff is going to experience skill degradation and burnout. And we will not have the capacity to provide public education in schools or attend community events. In my humble opinion, this levy is not about the mismanagement of taxpayer money. It has everything to do with continuing to provide basic essential services to the public and maintaining our parks and green spaces for the community to enjoy. And with that, I'll turn it over to my colleagues.
Council and community members, the Mount Vernon Police Department works to protect our city, our community around the clock. And yet most people would be surprised to know that on occasion, there's only 3 police officers working on a shift to cover the entire city. Since first saying that Mount Vernon PD is in a staffing crisis, things haven't changed much. The public safety lid lift will provide some needed relief to our staffing crisis by adding 6 new full-time police officers, 1 officer each year for 6 years. Over time, we predict the increased presence of police officers will decrease the number of crimes committed in our community by providing a proactive approach to policing. Council, this levy lid lift isn't about numbers, it's about people. It's about people in our community who deserve quality public safety, and it's about your employees who deserve a robust police department, fire department, and parks department. It's about ensuring that we have enough officers to respond to our community's calls for help, and that our officers have the tools, training, and support they need to support them. It's about faster response times, you've heard, stronger neighborhood presence, and a safer future for all of our families. I want to thank you for your time, your trust, and your partnership in this.
Good evening, Council. Jennifer Berner, your Parks and Recreation Director. If you were here back in 2024, you recalled we worked through a Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan, which was a year-long process that we took a lot of community input over the course of that process to help us understand where our needs are in our parks, and what is it that we need to do better, and what do we need to do to make things better for our citizens here in Mount Vernon? So what we heard during that process is that the community was passionate about keeping park spaces safe, accessible, as we heard this evening from one of our comments from one of our public here, replacing and or repairing playgrounds, providing better connectivity to and within our parks. An example of that is like at Hillcrest Park. If you notice, when you go to the entrance of Hillcrest Park, there's no way to enter that park safely. There's no sidewalk. There's no accessibility to, if you are a mom with a baby carriage, you're in the street. And so there's a lot of those throughout our parks, which we need to attend to. Also, some of the things we heard were Addressing deferred maintenance in our parks. We've done some of that through some grants, but there is a huge laundry list still of deferred maintenance projects that need to be done. That's due to lack of funding over the course of the years. And just things keep getting added to the list. And there's no way, it's not for the fact that we don't want to do the projects, we don't have the funding to do those projects. And that's the part that hurts, is we would love to be able to see these projects happen in our parks for our community, for them to be out there and able to enjoy our community and use these parks in a positive way. We also heard that they'd like to see some capital projects being funded in our parks, things like an inclusive playground at Hillcrest Park, a skate park at Bakerview Park. Those are just a few of the things that popped up during the pros plan process, time and time again from folks. The proposed levy would offer a reliable, dedicated funding stream that would provide a means to accomplish many of the needs expressed during the pros plan process. It would ensure funding for maintenance and safety. One of the key things that people brought up during the pros plan process as well is feeling safe in their parks. And so we need to address that. Preserve and expand recreational opportunities. The levy would help develop trail networks, and it would provide funding for capital projects. As we all know, a well-maintained park increases positive use, deterring negative use, which in turn improves physical and mental health and strengthens all of our community connections. Thank you again, Council, for your support in this levy, and thank you for your support over the years of parks and recreation programming. Thank you.
Thank you, all three of you, for being here tonight, for presenting this item. Council, if you have questions or comments, this is Resolution 1086 when you're ready for that part of it. Yes, Councilmember Carillas.
Thank you for what you're doing it. And all of us, I think we are advocating for this levy to pass. And when we've been doing doorbelling for the new runnings for the elector, and we have a few here, and we take the chance and talk to the citizen and said, we need this to pass. Then if nobody has more questions, then I would like to be more than happy to move this resolution.
I actually have a couple comments,
Yeah.
if I may. Yeah, I just want to say that as your city council member, I never take lightly any decision that involves raising taxes. I've spent a great deal of time reviewing Proposition 1, asking questions, and considering what it means for our community's future. I don't like raising taxes, so I'm not, because this is not a councilmanic decision. I support Proposition 1 because it ensures Mount Vernon can maintain proactive, not reactive, policing and essential city services in our fire and EMS response, where every second counts, to our vibrant parks everyone can enjoy. In 2000, our population was 26,817, give or take a human. In 2025, it's 35,259, give or take a human. We have grown significantly, yet staffing and resources have not kept pace. Proposition 1 will help keep Mount Vernon safe, well-maintained, and responsive to community needs. For me, this is about keeping up with growth and preserving quality of life that makes Mount Vernon such a special place to call home.
Thanks, Councilmember. Yeah, Councilmember Hudson.
Thank you. I know it's hard to talk about raising taxes. Everyone I know is feeling the pinch right now, and none of us want to pay more. But what's harder is watching our city staff stretch themselves thinner and thinner every year, trying to do more with less. Our firefighters, police officers, and maintenance crews are working tirelessly to keep Mount Vernon running, even as budgets tighten and positions go unfilled. Proposition 1 isn't about extras. It's about giving our community the basic tools it needs to stay safe and strong. It's about making sure the people who serve us every day have the support and equipment to do their jobs well. I see this as an investment, not just in city services, but in our shared quality of life. I truly believe that saying yes to Proposition 1 is saying yes to each other and to the future of Mount Vernon.
Yeah, Councilmember Vandersloot.
Just really quickly, just to bring this maybe a little bit closer to home, I just want to thank you guys. My grandma fell in the Safely parking lot a couple years ago, and I really appreciated the fast response time. She broke her femur, and if the fire department and the police force hadn't been there, and it had been a couple more minutes, it could have been a lot worse. So I really appreciate you, and I hope if this resolution passes, we can keep those really good response times up.
Yeah, Councilmember Brocksmith.
I'd like to continue that theme about how this is relevant to people in our community. So for instance, this will make all of us safer by putting more police on our streets, which will reduce the number of accidents, which will reduce the number of injuries and property damage to individuals. Also, if we all know how when you need somebody and the fire department shows up, how important that is on your worst day of your life. And this extra income and staff would allow the fire department to respond to 33% in larger area in the city to meet the 4-minute mark, if I'm not mistaken, and in response to your calls. And how important is it to you to have our fire department get to your home in a timely fashion? Well, it's the difference between life and death, really. And so this isn't just maintaining, this is expanding significantly the safety of individuals in our city. We all know how important that is. And so we sure hope that you will consider supporting this levy, but it is up to you as a city to make that decision.
Thank you. Council, there's time for more comments or questions. There's also a motion by Edith for approval of Resolution 1086.
I will second her motion if there's no other comments. Oh, sorry, Carrie.
All right, well, I'll go, for the record, a motion by Councilmember Carias, a second by Councilmember Beaton, and more discussion. Here.
This is going to be my 16th budget that I've done, and this is my last one, and it's the absolute worst one, other than 2009. Back in the days, we really didn't take too many of, we were allowed to take 1% tax increase every year. We did not do that for quite a few years. I've been pretty fiscally, I feel, responsible, but there are times when you do have to raise taxes, and you have to get services that are going to provide public safety, clean, safe parks. So I am very much in support of this. It's not going to be easy, obviously, for people when you start doing some of the math, but it is well worth it, and it is the future too of our police, fire, and parks. So I'm going to be supporting this year.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary.
Any other questions, comments? All right. All in favor of passing Resolution 1086 in support of Proposition 1, the levy lid lift, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you all for the work that you do.
Thank you.